Comes. Yep, straight into the ban phase. Obviously, after the veto phase, we can now start to tell a bit more of a story, try and refine it a little bit more than, well, Fnatic have just gone and smacked Fury and Auglis. They had a bit of a rough trek with Mindfreak, but now we can really start to hone in a little bit more on both of these teams individually and see how this one pans out.
Fnatic, after a short break from their very dominant series against Fury and Auglis, well, they've had the nice chance after their quite breathtaking semi-final earlier today to sit and watch Fnatic for that time. And guess what? We're going to see an IQ banned. So this is, IQ is not an operator we often see banned, but she is an operator we often see picked. Echo as well. So that means that in my eyes, you're banning the Echo. That is an operator where you need the IQ almost essentially in every single bomb site you're attacking to counter that Echo. Okay, here we go. So this is some live counterplay in my opinion. So the IQ ban from Auglis is to allow more play on Valkyrie. If they're banning the Echo and Valkyrie are the two things that IQ, the two best things that IQ counters, right? So you ban out the IQ, you ban out the Echo, it means you really want to play the Valkyrie. And this was an immediate response. Fnatic said, okay, you're going to make those bans, we're going to ban Valkyrie.
Yep. Which is also intriguing as well, considering Magnet does tend to lean towards the Valk from time to time. So completely eliminating that. Obviously, you can see the Mozzie being brought in instead of a bit of a substitute.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like a poor man's Valkyrie, but a little bit of mute as well kind of mixed in, which is nice. So as for the attacking lineup, it's really Auglis that I'm looking to come out and show us what they got, because we know what Fnatic have got, right? We've just seen an almost 14-0 of what Fnatic can bring to us. So it's Auglis who need to make the moves here. They've come off only just barely making it through here to the grand final with a rough game against Mindfreak. It's up to them to take the initiative here and prove us why they picked Consulate.
That's it. So we are going to be seeing the lobby defense early on. Not wasting any time in getting to it either. Generally, we do tend to see maybe a basement, maybe upstairs as the first bomb site, but Auglis feeling as comfortable as they could, as comfortable as they want to be heading into this now. After we do see the setup, it's where things get a little bit spicy.
Yeah, especially picking that lobby defense first up for Fnatic, trying to throw a curveball Auglis' way. Auglis have plenty of VODs on Fnatic to decide how they want to take some of the default setups that Fnatic have, you know, especially that Archives Tellers, which is a bomb site Fnatic do love, and not that many other teams you'll often see play it. So Fnatic want to start things a little bit different, go for a lobby, see if that throws off Auglis. It's probably the bomb site Auglis are least expecting, but Consulate, all 4 bomb sites are viable, and you have to be prepared for all of them.
Throwing a spanner in the works. It's going to be quite hard against both of these teams, realistically. Even though you may find yourself settled on a site, still got half-decent teams. Nice little early goo mine spot there, so no extra information. Yeah, got it at the end there.
Well, no IQ to take him out, so you got to rely on the naked eye. And we will see extensive drone work from Auglis. We didn't talk much about the operator lineup, but we have a fairly versatile lineup. The Thermite, you kind of need to pick on Consulate, even though you only want it for the Garage. You don't need it on any of the other 3 bomb sites, but if they pick Garage, you really need it. So you have to pick it anyway. So that's why we got the Thermite. The Nomad is the big one. Holding those flanks is essential, and we've seen how good Fnatic are at doing that. It's up to, there's a player prone in the corner of meeting right now. Ethan stuck between 2 players. He spots one, that's the first kill for Auglis. He knows the default position in bathroom, but he doesn't take that kill off. Lusty now unable to move any of his Mozzie drones into better positions. And Auglis have tasted first blood.
Let's hope that they can. Let's hope they've already set up those drones, like you're saying, Dev, because that could be a real pain. Magnet's actually holding on the line straight in toward the exit stairs, and Neophyter, he expects it, but that's still always going to be a tough line to try and readjust to as you're coming around. It's already being held. It's a bit of an awkward one to take.
From Auglis so far, we don't see a hugely structured push. I'm a little bit confused as to what the actual end plan is. They've taken control of top floor, which is great. You need to clear out the top floor, otherwise you can't plant in the lobby door because they can shoot you from holes above. August has taken that control, but they're not really maintaining it. Or Fnatic want to keep playing aggressively through these front windows. Ethan has a fantastic position for a flank, but he'll be lucky if he can make it work. Derp does polish off Virtue as he tries to jump out those piano windows, but 10 seconds left. Yeah. There's nothing else to do.
No, they've got to turn up the heat, and Rizraz is chiming in nicely. Oh, Specker comes back through again. Derp, what can he get done? Specker steps up massively. The newest addition to the starting five at this point in time, stepping up right when it's needed. Rizraz, nicely done, but just so little time to try and work with as they funnel on through. It almost felt a little bit disjointed as August made that final test.
Now, August may have found the first frag that round, but they didn't seem to have a clear idea of what they wanted to push. It was a little bit all over the place, and before they knew it, time had slipped away.
Yep.
Fnatic were keen to play aggressive, but not early. They would just peek a window. They were holding angles, peeking angles, but waiting. They know that they don't need to run down the timer.
Yep.
It's on August. They're the ones who have the initiative to push.
You could see right as it went bird eye as we were moving out into the front of that lobby there, all four players were within trading distance from Fnatic, and I think that that's going to be something to highlight, obviously. A player's tradability, you know, it's not really a word, but
hey, it works,
it's going to work. And it's one of those interesting things where, you know, if you are in that position to be traded, especially being on the defensive side, more often than not, at the very least, you're going to end up with that man advantage.
And that's what Fnatic want. They want to find those trades. Every gunfight that comes through, they want to make sure they have a reply. So a bit of a loss so far for August. We don't quite have a direction yet, but they'll be attacking a much more typical bomb site, this basement. They have the thermite ready for that as well. But Fnatic have established what's necessary for this early roam. These mute jammers on various objects in the basement elevated so that the radius of that jammer actually goes up onto the floor above. So if you're trying to drone out that middle floor, you might find your drone jammed out. And preventing that information from will really help out any Fnatic roamers or late flankers, because August just won't have that info.
Set up either side for Magnet, obviously going to be able to head and lean into either side, just using that reinforced wall for the cover.
He's got the ACOG to make it work as well.
That's it, the long distance will give them a much better chance. They are going to go straight in, get that thermite on toward that wall, open things up, and geez, that's nice and early on, Dev. We're seeing that at 2 minutes, not even earlier than 2 minutes.
And Diesel's reading into this. You can see he didn't place down the second thermite charge straight away. He's worried about this Fnatic aggression. Fnatic want to play super hyper aggressive. And so he has to pre-aim that angle. He wants to place the second thermite charge down. He drones it out, make sure there's no one close on White Van, to which he might be exposed to. So he opens up that second pane of the wall. Wow, Mag has the potential for a serious kill here. This is a very common spot to peek on that car. Magnet has a tiny bullet hole that he's peeking through right now. It's very unlikely anyone from August will see him. Is Diesel going to cross it?
No. Oh, geez, that's a little bit too close for comfort at that point. He's still going to hold on to that long line as well as they start to kind of close in a little bit further. Ethan slowly start to take control. Neophyter taking down Lusty early on. That's the Mozzie gone as well, so no repositioning of the drones. Oh my word. Emo's still trying to hunt with that buck, just completely destroying the bottom of the floor. Minute left, Dev.
Oh, and this vertical play could be a struggle for Fnatic. C4 ripped. Don't believe it. There you go. There it goes. Still no kills for the Fnatic side. They're wasting a lot of time, though. August opening up this floor. The goal here is to flush out players on site, but we saw that there's one off-site. Virtue on the top floor, and all the hatches are open, so he can drop out at any time that he wants to.
Oh, this is so dangerous. There's 30 seconds left. Fnatic realistically have a fair bit of control here, but as Diesel starts to put that diffuser down, Emo Rin takes down Rizraz. The trade's nice from Specker. They haven't been able to deny it, but it's going to be Diesel to drop Specker. No more for Virtue as he comes in on that flank. He's gone. It's all on the Magnet in a 1 versus 4.
It was perfectly read by August to cover those flanks. They only lost one player in the process, and now it's all on Magnet to peek. We know August, they're not going to make this too aggressive. Wide peeking now, Magnet will get detected, Diesel closed it out, and, well, August get their heads in the game.
Yeah, hot fire round. That one, that was a lot better from August, and it even felt like Fnatic was starting to, you know, maybe if that flank comes in a little bit earlier from Virtue, but all their T's crossed, all their I's dotted for August. They don't really allow Fnatic any of those kind of cheekier plays.
Weren't we so terrified for August when we saw Virtue on the top floor?
Yep.
Ready to engage that flank. And August weren't going to hunt him. In fact, he wanted to be hunted. If they hunt him, then he's going to waste time. He's going to get some frags. It's Virtue after all. You give him a gunfight, he'll happily take that. But instead, they decided not to hunt him. Let's cover our flanks. I assume, so we had Derp outside of lobby, right? He was watching that hatch. That's one of the places where Virtue can flank. He could have also come down Visa stairs. He could have come down Yellow stairs. He could have dropped the hatch into Piano. And I've got to assume that August had that covered.
Yep.
The Nomad charges, the air jabs could have been on each of those other rotations, meaning that Derp knows he only has to hold this one spot. Perfectly trapped right there. August not playing into Fnatic's hands.
And maybe even a little bit of premeditated play as well with that, you know? Obviously knowing full well what they're going to do and
learning the Fnatic playstyle.
Yep.
They know Fnatic want to go for those flanks. And they don't want to chase down the roamers.
no.
We know it's not going to work because Fnatic want you to chase them down. They're ready for that.
And also with the side of that as well, you know, the Emo and the Buck then just consistently opening up the flooring and never letting Magnet really sit on that ACOG. You know, if Magnet is just free to sit there and play from those bullet holes, play from the melee holes he'd already pre-opened, that's going to spell disaster the second you try to make your way through there.
So now we see Fnatic reattempt this basement bomb site. Speka playing this pulse for information gathering. Of course, we have two very powerful information gatherers banned for the defense, Valkyrie and Echo. That's why we're really shifting the onus onto the Mozzie and the Pulse, which we'll likely see at least the Mozzie almost every single round because of that.
Yeah, 2 minutes 30 this time. They're not wasting any time, August. They're happy to just go straight for the opening. And Diesel this time, like you were saying, in the previous round, they were a little bit more cautious in opening up that second wall. Not this time. Straight in, straight with the extra charge on it. And Fnatic just waiting to see what they can really see.
August coming into their own, getting that confidence back. Of course, they don't need the walls open straight away, but it does apply that little bit of pressure onto Fnatic. This is actually really good timing. Only 1 minute down. We already have Emo inside of Piano. That would have probably taken out the Mozzie drone, but we may well still have that Maestro camera down below. Diesel needs to drone that out and call out to Emo any utility that needs to clear out. But he's just looking for the key positions at the moment. Clears out pipes. Lusty on the top floor though in meeting. He has holes into the lobby, so if Derp does decide to push in, Lusty should catch him off guard. Drops down into lobby, a very aggressive position. Lusty's also primed to flank. And there you go, an immediate trade. Good job from August, but Lusty does take one away.
Yeah, very nicely played from August on those quick trades. We were saying, you know, well, Fnatic were looking good in that first round, but August not really giving them a moment's rest on that first floor, ensuring that everywhere they go, they're met with a player. They're met with an August crosshair. Ethan's going to make his way back in toward Yellow Stairs. Does have the support of another player right on the shoulder. So this is looking so nice for August. Look at how much they've been able to achieve in such short time.
Emo is so vulnerable to C4s here. Speka does have one in his pocket. Not using it just yet. Rizraz may well still have his, but he's on the floor. Only 2 players left for Fnatic. I don't think everything's going to plan. Neo wins the fight as well. In the long-range encounter, Neo Fighter to clean up the final kills. August.
I'm almost gobsmacked at this point. August are making this look so easy on those early starts. The trades are really nice. They're literally watching every possible angle that Fnatic are coming from. Is this a read?
The last time that these two teams played each other on LAN was at the 6 Oceanic Cup Grand Final for the majority of the 25k prize pool that we saw for our previous national tournament. And August, they destroyed Fnatic 2-0. One of those maps was Consulate. I remember one very specific moment. August had completely read into Fnatic. One of the Fnatic players wanted to go for a really long run out of Visa to kill players who were outside lobby. And there was Ethan all the way back in spawn, behind some car somewhere, just waiting for that Fnatic player to open Visa door. Auglis study their opponents, and they read into Fnatic so well. It's worked twice for them in this garage basement, but we know Fnatic, they take some time to warm up. They got 3 maps here to get through.
That's it. It's not going to be an easy task for Auglis. It's definitely not going to be any sort of a walk in the park by any means. We do go back up in towards CEO once. Actually, no, not once again. This is the first time we've gone up to CEO. So, Fnatic holding at this point. Auglis just seem to be figuring out exactly what they want to be doing.
Yeah, first step, figure out what bomb site it is.
Yeah.
And then decide how they're going to push. Typically on this bomb site, this top floor, you do one or two things. Either you push the west side, or you push the east side. East side is admin office. You've got to establish control of that office, move up from there, take control, plan inside meeting. Or you go for the west side push. You take control of yellow stairs, repel on B windows, eventually force down a plant in there. Fnatic will have to adapt to whatever push Auglis decides to start.
Typically, going to start with some sort of roam clear, at the very least some presence.
It's like a west push so far. Of course, trying to clear out these key positions, as you said. That's the bathroom and the yellow stairs. Magnet's so good at toying around this position using the smoke. He'll last as long as he can, dashing between this bathroom and the yellow stairs, using his shotgun and SMG-11 to contest any players on the window, or if they decide to come up yellow stairs. He does get that rotation quite nicely. He's preempting a player from Auglis, pushing up. His job here is to waste as much time as possible, hopefully get a pick. He's playing so aggressively too, but he's lost 1 ADS. So another player from Fnatic likely to try to come from below, but Ethan clearing out Magnet with no refrag.
Nope, that's from underneath, I believe. They've been able to open up, and you stick around too long, you're going to be able to, at the very least, you're going to be able to find that information. Further push Magnet back.
Fnatic are expecting a player from Auglis to push down from below yellow stairs and come up. That's why Specker and Virtue are both down here, but Auglis just aren't playing into that.
He's looking pretty damn dangerous at this point. Specker just ensuring no one pushing from behind. Diesel takes down Specker. That's the player that was just in lobby. This is going from bad to worse, Dev, and Auglis are on top of this pretty much at every step of the way.
Fnatic are playing well, but they're just too predictable for Auglis right now. Auglis have been watching Fnatic. They know how they play. Concealant, what a shot for Riz, though. Taking Neofighter off the board is a good first step towards clawing this one back. 40 seconds.
Oh, no way. That is so sick from Riz. Raz nearly finds the kill as well, but now has to back away. So that's the presence completely defaulted off of sight.
Lusty could find the C4 onto Emo in bathroom as well. Very risky position to be in. If he peeks it with the C4 and Emo's peeking it with the gun, then Emo will win the fight. So it's a gamble here either way.
Oh my word, Lusty just with the shoulder check, making sure that there's nothing there. He's stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Derp takes him down, only 2 players left. Rizraz has to get aggressive to try and put the pressure back onto Auglis. Virtue takes down Ethan, pushes straight on into connector, but it's all too much. And Auglis come out again in round number 4.
I'm getting some serious throwback vibes to 6 Oceanic Cup. At the moment, this just... Fnatic are being read. I like the idea behind them. They're expecting a certain kind of play. But they're coming up against a whole different pedigree of team right now compared to what they've been facing so far in the tournament.
That's nicely done, at least. I mean, you know, Fnatic, it really does feel that they're just hitting a brick wall every time they turn the corner. Auglis are preempting the lines to be held.
Every time Fnatic tries to do something, Auglis is there for it.
Yep.
And every time Fnatic are expecting Auglis will try to something like, for example, when we saw the other day, I believe it was Fnatic Oddity on the decider map of Consulate. Magnet playing those yellow stairs, that yellow stairs bathroom position. Oddity tried to kill him with utility, they couldn't.
Yep.
So they decided to push up from below below yellow stairs, and that was where Virtue was lying in wait below to take him down. Fnatic did the exact same thing this time. They had Virtue and Specker below, ready for the Auglis players to start pushing up Yellow Stairs. And guess what? They just didn't do that. They killed them in a different way. They were actually outside the Zulu hallway, opening up the windows, using the utility to destroy the floor and kill Magnet from that. It's really impressive to see the way that Auglis are reading into Fnatic.
It's the small changes, right? They're not really being given... Fnatic aren't giving room to breathe nor room to move. You can see as well, every time that buck comes out to play, they're cutting off so many rotates. The second they can open up the bottom of that flooring, Fnatic are kind of caught. And it's exactly, like you're saying, it's exactly what happened with Magnet earlier across toward Bathroom. But they... What are we feeling here? Are Fnatic just getting their number called? Are they going to be able to change anything so drastically that Auglis can't read into it? Are they just going to have to try and play a little bit looser?
The biggest scare for Fnatic here is if they start to lose their mojo. They came into this tournament, and I remember Specker on Friday night, he said, oh, all I got to do is get my first kill and then I'm in the game. Then I'm feeling confident. But I'm starting to feel like Fnatic are on the back foot, losing that mojo. If they're not feeling like they've got their head in the game, then this is definitely something that can slip away. I won't count them out yet. I still think that they're a team that needs to warm up, especially with this new roster change with Specker. Not full roster change, but I mean, come on, let's be real. Yeah. Specker's coming in here. It is changing how the team plays significantly and how the team is functioning. Fnatic's still learning. And they'll take some time to warm up.
And again, seeing from Auglis, happy to set up nice and early and sit back and wait for Fnatic to make something work. You know, most times they are catching them, trying to find that flank, but this time, Spec up, taking down Dirt. Not so drastic just yet. Auglis not really too enthused and reacting too early, taking their time with it as well. But look at this from Spec up.
Caught between two different crossfires, well played from Auglis. CEO windows, that was Diesel, and the Bathroom window. Emo's doing so much on the buck, opening up so many angles, exposing these Fnatic positions. Thing is, Rizraz still has this really long angle from the A-bomb, and Magnet's doubling down on that with an angle from Spiral Stairs. Auglis needs to have a response.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God, that's just peekaboo. Bit of whack-a-mole for Magnet. He can't find the head, but bit of a stim pistol back across towards Rizraz, so he'll be fine just for now, but they're still going to be able to continuously, aggressively peek here as long as Auglis don't hold those lines. You see the flank as well down in the basement.
This is a strange rotation for Ethan, going all the way into admin office, but he wants to put pressure on from another side. He knows he needs to clear out the player at long desk. We did see another player taken out earlier. Virtue's on the flank, and he takes down Emorin. That's such a big play. Diesel gets scared off the plant, but just for a moment, Virtue now control of Yellow Stairs. That'll really disrupt this plan attempt. Virtue's going to go for a run out all the way to CEO windows, and he takes down Neo. God. Gets back inside safe as well. No plant. Just yet, it's going down. Ethan has to hold the line. He's got a leisure mind in his foot, but he's just covering his teammate. He'll take down Virtue. Now he can pull out that goo. Lusty's going to come up the Yellow Stairs. He knows there was another player there, and it's 2 versus 1 for Auglis.
Fighting the time here, needing to try and force one of these players out to the open. Look at how far away they are from fighting this. He might be able to ping him out and make him a little bit unsettled, but they're just taking their time here. Unless he hits an unbelievable shot down long desk, it's not going to happen. He pushes in more aggressive, but it's just a game of hide and go seek. He'll eventually drop one. He might just try and get on it.
Oh no, it's nowhere
near it. They've readjusted, and oh wow, Ethan nearly makes it work on the revive, but that's okay because the time has well and truly run out for Lusty. What a round from Auglis, and what a decision to reapply that bomb on the other side.
We saw Ethan rotate all the way to admin office, and I don't know how Diesel got into A, but I've got to say, we missed a couple of things there, but the way that Fnatic started to read into this B push, they committed Virtue to go in for that run out, that helped so much, but at the same time, Auglis decided to completely switch for an A push, and you could see the confusion on Lusty's face when he had gotten the down. When he'd gotten that down, and he was looking for the diffuser on the ground somewhere in CEO, and he's like, "Where is it? Where is it? It's in the other bomb site." They made a full rotation.
That was such a nice call, Ethan. Though that was
He picked himself up.
Yeah, that would have been so frustrating if that had actually worked there. But
can you imagine?
Fnatic do keep that one a lot closer than what it's been, but damn, that's 4-1.
This is a very good half. On the attack, no less, for Orgless. I can't say the boys in blue, I can't say the boys in black because they don't have any colors.
Yep.
That's this team. Welcome to Orgless. They have nothing behind them except for each other. And that seems to be enough.
For now.
We'll see. We know Fnatic takes some time to warm up, but at the moment it looks like they're doing their darndest against Orgless, but they're just being read every step of the way.
The attacking side from Orgless, you couldn't be happier with this so far.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Fnatic stole the first round on lobby. Tried to throw a curveball Orgless's way and it did work, but since then, Orgless has been happy to take any other bomb site. Fnatic don't want to revisit lobby. They think it was maybe just a bit of a pocket strat, a bit of a surprise, something that's not going to work when Orgless are expecting it. I've had some time to talk about it, but this one, Archives and Tellers, it's a staple for Fnatic. And with Orgless doing this much vodding, as we can clearly see, Silex's giant notebook, Orgless will have prepared for this bomb site.
It's going to be a little bit harder to try and play against it, but hopefully for Orgless, they have actually figured out that counter strat, and Fnatic aren't really looking to play too differently either, but the mirror on Lusty changes things up. It's one of the first time we've actually, believe it's like one of the second or third map it hasn't been banned in, so leaving it in the map, in the operator pool, obviously gives you a lot more of a different approach on the defensive side.
Lusty is a veritable mirror main. He does love it. Even when some teams don't see mirror positions on a map, Lusty will always take that. Magnet decides to get downstairs. Worried about that admin pressure. Now, of course, Orgless have that top floor control. Fnatic ideally holding the basement primarily inside of Archives, but keeping Virtue and Tellers so that Orgless can't just quickly sprint on in there. Primarily, this side is played for denial, plant denial. When the attackers try to plant inside of Tellers, players below will use C4 to deny. But the Buck is doing so much work against Virtue here.
Oh, wow. Virtue's actually been spotted out there. They're still trying to find the kill through the bottom of the flooring, but Emorin ends up finding it. It's not the first time we've seen how much work Emorin's done on the Buck and opened things up. Neophyter's catching Specker off as well. Fnatic, they're slowly starting to crumble here on this bottom side as well. Rather, Archives and Tellers.
Virtue's learned some new angles from Emorin, but he won't be able to use them just yet. Magnet knows he needs to be in a playmaker position. Fnatic somewhat short on information. Both Echo and Valkyrie are banned. Fnatic have far less cameras in their arsenal to understand where this push is coming from. But there's 30 seconds left. Still 3 Fnatic players. Okay, never mind.
Make that 2, Dev. No one's really on that lower site, well, on either site from Orgless. It's dropping down to 15 seconds here. It's still doable for Fnatic. It'll be very awkward, but Rizraz on the spiral stairs will take down Derp. It's got to be now. They've got to crunch. Lusty's waiting, but Ethan will find him. Pushing in, and that is going to be yet again another incredible round from Orgless as they take 5-1 in the first half.
And what a finish to it as well. Orgless established that early man advantage, just pick by pick, piece by piece. They understand this map so well. All of those angles through the floor, that's something I've hardly ever seen from any team before. I learned some new angles there. Emorin did so much work. And then when it came down to it, Diesel was forced to just go into the bomb site, start planning that diffuser, but he knows he's vulnerable to C4s from below. So we saw 3 players from Orgless jump downstairs and chase down the last Fnatic members who were desperately trying to deny that plant.
Ethan just showing face on the pulse, but Six picking out into the Legion. All right, so we're going to go straight in toward the basement once more. A very good attacking side from them in basement, but how good's their defense, Dev? That's maybe the burning question, but one blaringly obvious change is going to be the Bandit being brought straight into this one.
this is something we haven't talked about yet. Neophyter. So he's had a bit of history in Rainbow Six Siege. For a very long time, he played for this August team back when they were known as Atletico. Him and Silix, the coach of August, they've been together for ages. And then Season 7 of Pro League comes around and Neophyter gets offered a position on Fnatic, the ANZ team. He plays at the Paris Major,
5 seconds to go.
and I believe he played at the Rio Finals as well.
Attacker's
And
objective is to locate a
then
bomb.
he dropped off, and he no longer played on the team. He was replaced, and now he's rejoined his former teammates. This is former teammates going against each other. It's Neo versus his former team. As we head downstairs, August are getting very close to that match point on their own map pick.
Well, that's it at the end of the day, isn't it? It's still their map pick, so we're not really, it's not like we're counting out Fnatic by any means, but just the way that August have been able to counter-strat, been able to find the different areas, you know, new things like you're saying, Dev. You know, you watch this game all the time and you're still learning new things. Emo with some really cool angles from up on that top floor in toward the towers. Now, Fnatic, how do they approach this? Realistically, they cannot allow August to get settled on this defensive side.
After getting absolutely slapped on defense, how does that give you the confidence to make these entries? Specker is the man to go in front, but he knows how much he has to prove. He talks big, and he certainly puts up the results as well, but this is really where his team needs him. Keep his nerves tame, even in this deficit, and make a good entry.
As they make their way back through, looks like August have a very decent spread. Emo in obviously on the other side.
Ethan getting Jackal tracked, so he's just going to play sight,
Yep.
distract time. A couple of other guys from August playing a bit aggressive, but not getting too carried away just yet.
Obviously, again, two completely different looks. By this time, August had already had Garage open. They were already looking to make the different plays. But look at this from Dirt. Coming up spiral stairs. He's going to go ahead and pre-fire, trying to deny. It's not going to work, though. Neophyter with the C4 through the top will find Specker. Big fragging potential out from Specker now, but they're still going to be able to carry this through. Neophyter lucky to be alive after he just makes it away from the line of sight. My word, they are playing with fire with that opening.
Time ticking away, and wow, is really... Neo's allowed to go for this flank. He spots a player and very worried about this angle, preempting the pre-fires through the floor. But Fnatic do regain the man advantage with that pick onto Emo Rin. I just heard the calls from Fnatic. They know that Neophyter's gone back down the stairs. They saw him go down. They must have a drone or something. So now, Fnatic trying to find these final picks onto the site players, but they have the track on Neophyter. They don't have to worry too much about him. Diesel and Derp on side have to play big, and they both do an explosion. Virtue finishes off Diesel, and Derp's taken down. It's all on Neophyter against his former teammates. And there's only 10 seconds to go.
That's it, 10 seconds. He needs to try and hold tight. They're already down the staircase. He's going to be able to rotate back through. As long as he can deny this plan, it'll be huge. He drops the player. He steps up massively, taking down Virtue. Unbelievable. August, time and time again in map number 1, are shutting down Fnatic.
And we're very close to finishing that map number 1, Rob. It's match point, August. I can't believe what we're seeing. Neophyter. I mean, what a way to say something to your former team.
Quick as that. Pow, pow.
And the Let's Go Fnatic chants start.
Gonna need
Keep
something.
it up, guys. They're going to need it for now.
That's for sure. They are crunched at every single turn right now. I'm honestly bamboozled by August. Even their defenses are strong, but that time maybe a little bit lucky that you've got a player like Neophyter to step up at a moment of need. Obviously, we
Fnatic-
know.
Yeah. Fnatic did play that quite well, right?
Yes.
It was Neo who really stepped up there.
Yep.
I mean, clearly, I wouldn't have known that Fnatic were aware that Neo had rotated back downstairs, but I could literally hear Specker calling it right next to us right now.
I think people over in Rod Laver could hear Specker.
Yeah. So match point and Fnatic go top floor. This is do or, sorry, August go top floor. This is do or die for Fnatic.
10 seconds left.
And they can't even, that's the thing about attacking, right? If you fail an attack, you get to retry that same spot.
Before insertion.
Sorry, if you fail on defense, you get to retry that same spot, not on attack. So that's the case here for Fnatic. They didn't manage to win going downstairs. On the back foot, now they have to try to win upstairs without any practice on this bomb side. Any experience from this exact matchup. The onus is on Fnatic to step up, and I know there's so much expectation for them to do just that.
So it's coming down to crunch time, obviously. As the time slowly ticks once again, Fnatic, they're going to be called upon. Realistically, it has to be them that bring this back. Orgless, they're doing everything that they need to secure this.
And I think they've regained that confidence as well. Neophyter peeking aggressively after that clutch. I mean, why wouldn't you take these angles with the ACOG?
Well,
may well find one. I don't think that, I don't know which player that is. I think it might be, is it Virtue? He doesn't want to take that fight. What a shot!
No
Virtue gets the best of him.
Way!
A beautiful shot too for Fnatic, and that's one way to shut down Neophyter. Don't let his head get too big.
Wow. That is very nicely done to open things up, and maybe a stroke of luck, quote unquote.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Mad
that
skill
it's Virtue,
from Fnatic.
right?
Yeah,
on,
that
man.
is. It's exactly what we saw from him just before as well. So
how much did we talk about on the desk? Virtue pops off when Fnatic win. We don't know which is the cause and which is the effect, but if Fnatic want to turn this round, take us to overtime with 5 straight rounds, well, he's going to have to step up, and that needs to start right now.
and it does. Diesel does find early contact. Obviously playing with that smoke, he's got so much time to delay. Minute 15, 30 seconds with those smoke babes, and up close and personal, actually, he's only got 2 bullets with a shotgun, so he's going to have to rely heavily on the SMG-11. Again, time slowly ticking here, and Diesel can just buy as much time needed unless Fnatic get aggressive here.
They'll need to before too long, but they haven't eliminated these key positions. Diesel being pre-fired, and he'll actually get away from meeting. He takes out Specker on his drones. This aggression from Diesel, the smoke player retaking admin, and he's got the diffuser down as well. Dirtbear jumps into the fray. Virtue's on the floor. We're looking down at Orgless right now, taking Fnatic 6-1 and looking for more.
Lusty and Rizraz, all that remain for Fnatic. They stand between Orgless and map number 1. 18 seconds left. Lusty has to make his way in. Emo Rin shuts him down. It looks all but done and dusted. Rizraz, there is absolutely no chance he can get this done here. It is just a matter of time. 5 seconds left, and Derp will finish off map number 1. An incredible performance from Orgless to start us off in this grand final.
And we had worried for Orgless after a tough game this morning, but they have thwarted all of our doubts. And here we have a 7-1 against Fnatic.
That's like, but yeah, words into sentences that lead toward Orgless completely showing up in the server. Wow, that's a fresh of